What's up, everybody? King of Fomo here, coming at you with your daily crypto update. Make sure you follow me over there on Telegram, as well as my TikTok channel, which is listed on your screen right here. So today we're going to be talking about Zero.exchange, which is something that I think is really, really cool. Now, I've actually been looking for something like this for a while. This is actually a decentralized way for you to be able to interact with the Avalanche and the Polkadot blockchain. Right now, at least in the United States, it's pretty difficult to get a hold of Avalanche tokens and Polkadot tokens, but I think that having a decentralized option, which is a step in the direction of where Zero is going to be really, really helpful and could make this potentially go parabolic and moon. There's also some really, really cool other stuff with this. I'll be making some comparisons to help you guys understand. We'll talk a little bit about how this thing is similar to Uniswap, and there's also some time-sensitive stuff in here as well. The coin currently, if we take a look over here on DEX Tools, it is on Uniswap. It's kind of at its all-time high right now. It's sort of in between. It's kind of at maybe a good point. Maybe it might dip a little bit lower, but sitting at about 0.58 cents, or 5.8 cents right now, doing pretty good. And I think it had a high today. It was like at 0.74 cents. But nonetheless, the time sensitive part of this is the fact that this token can be farmed right now. So you can see that I actually just started farming this within the past 45 minutes. Now I put a crap ton in here just because when I get in on these farms and I really like what I see, I try and farm the most possible. And this is a farm that actually is time sensitive because it's only going to be lasting for about 14 more days before either they change the rates or they turn it off completely, or they change it the way that you're going to be able to access it. So if you're going to want to farm these tokens, obviously you need to make sure that you understand how farming works, understand the gas calculations, because you can't farm like $10 worth of this stuff without losing a ton of money from gas fees. But there's definitely some profits to be made. And again, this is from me farming. I guess it's been about maybe 30 minutes, and you can see that I have about 1,307 tokens. Now, if we take a look at how much is that worth over here on Uniswap, so 1,307 tokens in about a 30-minute time span, that's close to about $100 from what I've been farming. Of course, like I said, I'm farming quite a large amount in terms of Ethereum as well, so that's something that you can keep in mind. But let's talk a little bit about what is Zero? What does this token do? What is it going to be used for? So this is kind of the beginning phases of this. Currently, Zero, like you saw, you can get it on Uniswap. You can even buy it over here on their app, their exchange over here, Zero.exchange. And it's ERC20 when you're purchasing it right now. So this is like the pre-phase of it. And the reason why I'm comparing Zero to Uniswap is because with Uniswap, that was basically a coin that was launched to really combat, back at the time, fees were like astronomically high for Ethereum. And Uniswap was like a godsend because the fees on Uniswap were fractions of pennies, fractions of cents. It was really, really fast, and it was actually easy to use to migrate over to the XDAI blockchain and to play around with. It didn't really gain as much adoption as people wanted to gain, but it was really easy to use, and the fees were basically negligible. And Zero is doing the same thing, except instead of being on the XDAI blockchain, it's going to be on the Avalanche blockchain. A lot of you have heard about Avalanche recently. This thing has been blowing up in the past couple of weeks, and it's going to have some other features too. If we take a look at the screenshot, this is not out yet, but it's kind of a teaser of what's to come. It's claiming that you can be able to swap between Ethereum, Avalanche, and Polkadot. And if you're in the United States, you know that buying Avalanche and buying Polkadot tokens is not the easiest thing to do in the United States. So this is actually a really, really good decentralized option if they can get this going, to be able to potentially exchange your Ethereum for Avalanche or Polkadot type tokens. So that's really cool. And again, I've done something like that, something similar to that on XDAI with Ethereum. So if the swapping of the tokens and the swapping of the blockchain is as easy as that, I think that this is something that can potentially really, really catch on, especially with like Ethereum. I don't think the fees for Ethereum are going away. I think they're going to continue to either stay the same or go up as the price of Ethereum goes up. So this is going to be a really, really good alternative. I think that it's only a matter of time before we get something else, replacing Ethereum for the decentralized swapping options, the decentralized exchange options. So they have a lot here that we can kind of read up and talk about. Avalanche blockchain, you guys can watch a separate video about that. There's plenty of other videos talking about the Avalanche blockchain, but just a quick advantage overview about Avalanche versus Bitcoin versus Ethereum, Cosmos, and EOS. Avalanche is proof of stake. It's got 1,000 validators. It's got 4,500 transactions per second, which is a little bit higher than Ethereum. Their block time is significantly less than Ethereum at about a third of a second, while Ethereum is about 30 seconds. So what that means is that you're going to be getting really, really fast transactions over here on Avalanche. And in addition to that, because Ethereum's fee is dynamic based on GUI, the higher the price of Ethereum, basically the higher the price of your fees are going to be for interacting with contracts and sending funds around. For AVAX or Avalanche, the fees are negligible. Again, you're looking at fees that are going to be fractions of pennies when you're doing transactions over here. So that's a huge, huge advantage. Now, again, I think the problem with Uniswap was it had a very large uphill battle to climb to get adoption from people that didn't really know what Uniswap was or didn't really know how to use it. But with Avalanche kind of coming out the gate and growing as time goes by, I think Zero has an advantage to really get those people who are using Avalanche as early adopters, and as using something similar to Uniswap, I think is a good strategy as well. They are doing farming. There's 500 million tokens. So if you guys want to do some price analysis right here, I actually didn't do this. Can't really do this in my head right now because I'm not that good with numbers. But at 5 cents a piece for 500 million tokens, we can see that price can go even higher. If we hit $1 for the Zero token, you're looking at $500 million worth of tokens right there, which I think putting it at the $500 million market cap, I mean, I guess we can go over to CoinGecko and try and see what does that equal, a $500 million market cap. It's not going to actually put it that high on this Uniswap list. $500 million market cap would be, I think it's going to be, it's going to be about number 60 here on CoinGecko. So this is the early times. Now, can the Zero token hit number 60? Well, I mean, let's take a look at some other things that are similar to that. We can talk about Honey. I'm not really going to get into Honey because I talked about how that does have some pretty difficult adoption. It's ranked 591. But two other similar type of exchanges I'm sure you guys know is Uniswap's very own Uni token, which is currently ranked 24, which is a lot higher than 60. Now, I don't think that Zero is going to get to that level really that quickly unless you really start to see the Avalanche blockchain grow. And of course, we also have SushiSwap, which is ranked 44. So putting it at rank 60 as kind of the number 3 behind Uniswap and SushiSwap is, I think, something that can happen. And it really is reliant on Zero and the team at Zero getting their stuff out there, because it is a lot of vaporware right now. I mean, the liquidity mining is great, and this is kind of the time where you can take advantage of either buying up the tokens and holding them, or just farming the tokens and seeing what's going to happen from here on out. I think that there's a lot of reward that can come from this thing being successful and allowing people to get onto the AVAX blockchain and the Polkadot blockchain and get those coins a lot easier. So you guys can look into this a little bit more on your own. There's really not too much more to talk about. There's the typical, you guys understand how liquidity works. We can get into that real quick. So if you guys do want to actually do some farming on here, all you have to do is when you go to the app.zero.exchange on the website, you just have to simply click on the launch app button, Zero.exchange, and then click on launch app. And you're going to go over to this earn tab right here. And you can go ahead and click on this add liquidity button, which is going to allow you to buy some of these Zero tokens. You can get them directly on here or from Uniswap. Buy the Zero tokens, add the liquidity, and once you have added your liquidity, you can manage it. Whoops, what happened here? So once you've added your liquidity, you can manage it down here, and that's where you can start to see what I've deposited and the amount that I have unclaimed. You can see the total deposits overall, currently 2,900,000. So let's just round it up to $3 million worth of deposits. And I mean, if you think back to Uniswap, the Uni token, that had hundreds of millions of dollars in it when it was kind of at its middle and its peak. So, the same thing can happen with this thing. The sky's the limit. Now, of course, like I said, we'll end with this. There are risks involved. I was looking at the team. It's kind of hard to really get information on the team. And again, a lot of it is dependent on them putting stuff out there. And besides having a nice semi-functional website, the main reason why people would be buying into this and looking into this, that's not out yet. They are releasing screenshots, but That's something that we really have to see before we give this the full stamp of approval and before we really start to speculate that this is going to be a top 60 coin soon. And the Zero token can be worth $1. So that would make, if that's true, that would mean my 1,509 tokens that I've farmed here in the past 45 minutes would be worth $1,509, which is going to be not too shabby. Anyway, that's everything for today, guys. Wanted to give you guys a heads up on this farming opportunity for you guys, and potentially this could be a big thing. We'll see. It's just shot in the dark, sort of, but we will see. Catch you in the next video. Like, comment, subscribe. Peace out.